Okay, so first class of the After Effects class. Now this is after you got open After Effects for the first time. You're gonna go click on the new composition, or you can go to composition. There's a new composition too. Okay, so click on it. This is the composition name, so you can just rename it, or you can use as is. And this is the video preset size. I choose the 720 30 frames per second 29.97. Okay, that's the video size you're gonna output for HD video size. And then this is the duration. Okay, so as you can see, the middle box is 20, so you can go ahead and change to like 15 or 20. So I want to have like at least like 15-second animation I want you to make. Okay, so 15 or 20 duration, hit OK. So as you can see, we have the white blank composition here. So this is the layers. Okay, so you will see there's layers just like the Photoshop, and this is the duration of your animation. So as you can see, from the 0 second to 15-second timeline here. Okay, so only difference is using the other layers, but After Effects you can make the animation out of it. So first thing, so this is our composition setup. Now you go double click on this, import your resources. So double click here in this box, or we can go to file, there's import file, multiple files. We can do that. I usually just go this the content window, double click here, left click, double click, so I can get the desktop. There's a After Effects class 01, and there's a lot of images there. So once again, double click. I'm going to upload a bunch of images. Okay, so I think this is the video. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it's a video or movie file. I'm gonna go with all the JPEGs here. So you can add the AVI file there too. Movie file. Import. And it'll ask you if there's an alpha channel, how you're gonna use the alpha channel. Just go select on straight and hit OK. So now you have your images, and here's your movie file. So we haven't set up any layers yet, so let's go set up your layers first. So I'm gonna select image and drag it down to right here on the composition window. So you got your first layer. As you can see, this the image is filled with all 15-second time period here. You can go ahead and make it shorter or make it like longer too. But there's another way you can show or hide these images. So I'll do it in a second. So there's another image I'm going to drag in the second layer. As you can see, the top layer is this the tank picture, and there's an eye icon, so I can see what's underneath it. But let's say I'm gonna make the top layer. I'm selecting the top layer, and let's go make the top layer display. See, I can move around this clip, or I can just go ahead and make it shorter. As you can see, left click on the starting point or ending point. You can do it with a shift. No, actually you can't do that, but now I can stick with the when you hold down shift key, you see that this is the timeline. So I usually, let's say I want to make this clip exactly like 2-second clip, 2-second duration for this image show up, then I have to go the timeline 1 second. So 1 0 0, that's 1 second. Okay, so I've typed that in right here, and I'm using the shift key, hold down, left click, and it'll snap onto the timeline. Okay, and let's go to the 3 second, 3 0 0, type that in. Now this timeline is exactly stop on the 3 second. I'm gonna use the left click again, hold down shift, snap on that image. Then now this image clip is like show up exactly 2 seconds. Again, go back to like starting point is 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, that's your starting point. So as you can see now, now I can make the second clip kind of like sticks on 3 0 0. See, I can go to, no, actually 2 seconds, so 2 0 0. And the second clip I can make is starting from exactly on the 3 second. Let's go kind of slide it. Okay, select that timeline, and as you can see, it's gonna go play the animation, and on 2 second it will show what's on underneath it. Okay, so it's the image change. Okay, or you can use the space bar, hit the space bar and play. See, on the 2 second the image has been updated. So basically you do the same thing right here, 4 to 2 to 4. Now I can make this guy kind of like shorter. You got the idea, like, okay, on the top maybe I can copy, Control C, Control V, so I can go here again and go click here, go down, go up and down. I can rearrange the what's up here, what's down here. So when I play the animation, it's go display whatever the images show up here. Okay, so same idea. If you have any animation clip, so bring it here. So this animation is like really kind of long, but look at this. When you play, it's gonna play. Yeah, it's gonna go play the whole animation there. Okay. Okay. So when you select that layer, and you can just go use the delete key, and it'll delete from the composition layers here. Okay, so now you got the basic images. So basically I want like your transition up until some certain time. You saw my demonstration video, so let's say it's gonna have like overlaps later on. So now this is just the images changing just right away, but now I can make the overlaps. So like I have like 1 second. Okay, so let's go to 1 second. So 1 0 0, and I can always like stick with the starting point. See, I'm making this overlap. Okay, so I'm gonna make the transition. So I'll change the opacity of the top layer like from 100% to 0%. Then it'll make like kind of like overlap transition here. Okay, so to do that, select the top layer, expand. So there's going to be transform. You see that little triangular shape? There's a transform, and you see the clock icons. That's the keyable objects. So I'm going to key on 1 second. So let's go to 1 second again. 1 0 0, and I'm going to set up the keyframe on opacity. The default opacity is 100%. As you can see now, you got the dot meaning you have the keyframe on 1 second. Now I'm going to go to 2 seconds, so 2 0 0, and I'm going to change the opacity value 0%. Okay, so when you change the value of that, like whatever the channel you selected, it'll give you automatically that blue dot, that meaning you have set up new keyframe. So let's go review that. You can just play button here, use the play button, or you can use the spacebar. So it'll translate that. Okay. So now maybe if you have another video clip you wanna see together, well, I can make this a little bit longer, and then let's say I wanna set up the keyframe on 2 seconds. Actually, let's make it a little bit longer. So 4 seconds, and I want to see this overlap like about like 1 second here, and then yeah, go to 300, 3 seconds. So these are transition. Okay, so transform here again. Now, no, for the top, it's kind of confusing, but this one actually I can move. Sorry, 3 seconds, 300. So I'm gonna make 300. So that's all. Yeah, starting point right here, and the very bottom layer, I'm gonna go set up the position transition here. So this is the the current position. So this is x-axis and y-axis. So let's say I wanna make this image kind of like slide from the left side. Like left click and I can move it. So I got the first keyframe here, okay, the dot, and I'm gonna go to maybe 5 seconds, 500, and now I can move that position whatever we want. Yeah, you're using that like little dot, you click it and come back to the original position. Now you got the second dot, that meaning after this image clip there's a opacity transition, and then it's gonna show a little bit of image, and then it's gonna go show up that another position transition there. Okay, so basically you're gonna have like lots of layers, and you're gonna set up like lots of keyframes on the channels. So on the underneath of the transform, yeah, there's an anchor point, there's a scale. You can go scale up and down too. So you can see now. See, there's a scale. See, so you can make it smaller, bigger. Yeah, these are all keyable objects. Okay, so let's say you want to key the scale again, then from here to like ending point, another keyframe, the first keyframe you added there, and then you can go ahead and see the scale. I can make it smaller or bigger. Make it smaller now. So play animation. Just come in, and it's gonna go smaller. Okay, so you can have like multiple keyframes. You can set it up too. Okay, so this week I want you to have like lots of layers, lots of transition. So before you adding the like spinning logo with the transparency on it. Okay.